And I like the benevolent. Oh, okay. I like this Bake-It brand. Hi everyone, my name is Aisha and welcome to Raw It's Aisha, where we make cruelty-free food and we're trying to make it fashionable. For today's menu, we're going to start with an appetizer of a bacon-wrapped tart. Then we're going to move on to a vegan fondue, which I think is actually really tasty. It's the first cheese sauce I've actually really liked as a vegan. So we're going to do that, and we're going to end with a nice little cookie that I made called a Love Bomb. That has like a strawberry base with hibiscus flowers and Oreos. So let's get started. For the appetizer, I mentioned we're going to do this bacon wrapped asparagus quiche or tart. First we have to just cut off little ends. After we're cutting off the ends here, let's just get rid of this. We're going to cut it into fourths. Or just like into little pieces. Mine's probably going to be a little bit longer, so maybe 5 little sections of 5. Need like a plate. I missed a little asparagus, so I'm gonna have to just cut that one up and add it to its little friends. Next, we're gonna be doing some bacon with it, and I like the benevolent. Oh, okay. I like this Bake-It brand because it tastes the most like bacon to me. Personally, the tempeh bacon is really good too, but it has a texture of tempeh, so it's kind of hard to imagine it's the real thing. So what we're gonna do, just because it's Valentine's Day, I'm gonna keep one of the strips on the side, and you only really need half a package to do this, because we're only gonna be making like 9 tarts, because it's just an appetizer. We don't want too many, we don't get too full before we get to the fondue. So I'm going to leave one pre-cooked by itself. The other ones I'm going to just cut up into little pieces. It doesn't really matter what bacon brand you prefer. These are good to me. I like a little bit, some of them to be like a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to cook the bacon real quick. Just add some oil. Use some spray like I did, or you can just use regular oil if you like. Add that in there to fry a little bit. Let that warm up. While we're doing that, go ahead and press the tofu. You're gonna need a half a block of tofu for the 9 tarts that we're gonna make. I don't know if I learned like the proper way of making tofu, but the way I kind of press it is just with paper towels until it's kind of like there's moisture on each end of the paper towel, but it kind of turns to mush. So I really don't feel like it's the right way, but it's the way I have adapted to doing it. I'll just put that aside. Actually, I could toss that right into a blender, a little blender cup. You don't need to squeeze it out too much. The moisture will actually add to the sauce. Okay. So the bacon is getting a little bit crispier, so I'm going to add in the rest of the stuff we need for that element. So let's chop some garlic. Oh no! We're not going to show that. Do you see that? I didn't cut my finger, but I cut my thumbnail. Shit. Okay. I need to be chill. I'm doing about 4 cloves. I really like garlic, so I probably add like a little bit more than really is necessary. But if you like garlic, do what you want to do. Add as much as you want, because I never really follow the garlic guideline of any recipe I follow. I always just add as much as I want. Bacon's looking pretty good. We're gonna pull this out. Ah! Miko! Miko! It's a little hard. Happy Valentine's Day, Miko. That smells so good. it to cook it a little bit more. Because I don't really like that too much of a crunch with when I eat my vegetables. I like them a little bit more cooked down. So I'm going to do a bit longer. But if you like a nice crunch to your vegetables, like if they're fresh, this would be a good time to pull it out when they're super bright green. And over here, just because it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to cut some of this bacon into like little hearts to add on top of our quiches. It's better to do this before it's cooked. It's just easier to cut. A little hard. Yeah. This one is a little bit. I feel like I need more petite scissors, but we're still gonna go with it. Yeah. I was supposed to film this video yesterday. I stapled my thumb and I had to go to the emergency room. So it's okay. We're getting back on track. Then I found out the emergency room was going to charge me $240 just to take out a staple when I could have just done that my damn self. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. At least I didn't get like tetanus. How many we have? 6? Okay, let's try to squeeze out 3 more. I'm having such difficulty right now. It's all flapping everywhere. We got this. It's not the best one. It's probably the worst one actually. We're still gonna use it because I'm running out of bacon. You gotta compromise with life. Oh, this one actually kind of looks like a natural heart. It's a little messed up. It actually kind of looks like a dog. You see the ears and the mouth. We're still gonna use it. Still kind of looks like a heart. If you squint. Oh wait, this one kind of does, we can do something with this, yeah? It's kind of like a Nemo heart, like one isn't fully developed. The other one's fine. And that other one will get him through life. Okay, now that we're getting closer to putting it into the oven, we're gonna set the oven to 375. And you're gonna need a cupcake tin. And to save time and energy, because let's be honest, making any kind of dough takes a lot of energy. We're gonna use some store-bought, just make sure that it's vegan and there's no eggs or dairy products in it. If you're really worried about it sticking, I don't think it will stick. I think we'll be fine. Then you can powder it down with some flour, but I think it will be okay. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We're fine. We did this. And we're going to want to spray this down because it will stick. You can do the full recipe and do 18. But if it's Valentine's Day, I can imagine that you're probably not making more than you need for 2 people. So 9 is more than enough. And these are actually really good for breakfast too, because they are like little quiches. You can freeze them and then just toast them in the toaster oven and they're perfect. And we're gonna need about 9. And then just make them into little mini pie crusts into the cupcake tin. And the bottom is gonna bubble up. So if you wanna poke a couple holes in the bottom, that will actually help it from expanding too much. Not like the other ones are gorgeous or anything, but this one's like the hunchback of tarts. I'm sorry. You'll still have a good life. You'll still be eaten. Okay, so for the filling, let's put this aside. I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of nooch. I want to say just nooch, but for nutritional yeast, so 3 tablespoons. Add that to your blender with the pressed out tofu. That was 2, right? And 3. Add some pepper. It doesn't matter if it's fresh ground, I'm just being fancy. And some turmeric. And honestly, the turmeric for me, it just honestly adds the egg color, like it is a quiche. Other than that, it doesn't taste like turmeric. It doesn't add anything other than color. Okay, so we're gonna add some garlic salt, which honestly, I feel like I've been using so much lately. I got one of those Costco-sized containers, so it's been on everything I've made for like the past 2 weeks. So add as much as you want of that, and then you're gonna want to do about a half a cup of some milk. Doesn't matter which kind. I'm using vanilla, but you can't taste the vanilla in the recipe, so as long as it's unsweetened. You can use soy milk, cashew milk, coconut milk might add a little bit of a taste, but not too much where it's going to ruin the recipe. We're just gonna go over here then. Okay, here we go. It's about to happen. Before I was vegan, I feel like I made a lot of quiches and they never turned out quite as good as this quiche with the tofu instead of the egg. So definitely don't be afraid of the fact that it's not egg to try. It smells very cheesy already. So now we're just gonna add the asparagus mixture into this. Ooh. With these little crusts, we are going to want to put them in the oven at 375 just for 10 minutes just to get the base down. Even if you poke them a little, they are going to puff up a little bit. So we're going to just take a fork, or I have a knife here, knife works too. Just pop the bottom back down. So we can add the filling. There we go. Okay. So now we have our crust ready. We got our asparagus in there. We got the bacon. We got our bacon and little heart still waiting over there. We're gonna mix all the goodies, the asparagus and the bacon, into the batter. Okay, get the spoon and mix it a little bit more. Because the knife just wasn't doing it. Just trying to work with what I had, but it just didn't work. So we're moving on. And we're gonna thrive. Oh, see, it looks very well mixed now. So we're gonna start adding that into my little piece. Add the rest of the good stuff here. Some extra asparagus. Now we're gonna add our little hearts to make them more Valentine's Day themed. Just add them into the middle there. That one's a stacked one. And this one's lopsided. There's that little messed up one. That one's a pretty one. So you're probably gonna wanna put it in about 15 to 20 minutes. The little tarts are done and they look adorable. And they're chock full of the asparagus. Look at that. So we're gonna let that cool for at least 10 minutes because if it's too hot, it's gonna fall apart. So let's just put this aside for now and then we can start our fondue. So you're gonna want to start off with raw cashews and you're gonna want them to sit overnight in water. I didn't have time for that, and so there is a shortcut where you can add hot water, like boiling hot water from like a tea kettle, and let it sit for about an hour. I've had mine sitting about like 2 or 3, maybe a little bit more than 3, but they should be ready to go at this point. So I'm just gonna take cashews. I did 2 cups. If you're wanting to make this sauce for like mac and cheese, because this sauce is very versatile, you can make it for mac and cheese or make it just to like put on top of like broccoli when you make Buddha bowls. You could do like about a cup. I just love how versatile this recipe is and how much it really does taste like a really good cheese sauce, not just like a mediocre, like, oh, I feel like it tastes pretty non-vegan. I feel like the guy from a Goofy movie, that weird stoner friend, would really approve of this. So we got our cashews in here. We're gonna add a little bit of the water. Not too much, because I don't want it too thin. You want it more like a fondue. So I add a little bit like that. Let's get some of our trusty friend, Mooch. We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of cups, so I'm going to go with 6 tablespoons. We're going to add some more garlic salt, because you can't go wrong with that. As long as we have some fresh garlic to go in. I feel like 2 cloves is perfect for this recipe. And then you're going to want to do juice from a lemon or a lime. It depends on what you like. I usually do just half the fruit and then squeeze that in. I don't really feel the need to do all of it, but it really needs that citrus to taste cheesy and add that zing to it. Okay, we're gonna add some pepper and let's try try blending this. Let's go to over to our little blending station. Sometimes a ninja needs some help. Oh, got it everywhere. Okay, let's see what we got. It's looking pretty creamy. See, it is a little chunky. A little bit. So I'm gonna add a little bit more water and try and thin it out. Yeah, it looks good. See that? Neat. It smells really nice too. I got it all on my lip. I made this with lime juice, and I feel like that tasted a little bit better than the lemon juice. So keep that in perspective. It's really smooth, especially since I didn't let it soak overnight. I feel like this is very, very good. Look at that. Look at you. Oh, that's good. Whew. Okay, so I guess we'll put that aside for the fondue pot. So to finish off, we're gonna make my little love bomb cookies. So we're gonna start with some cake mix, a vegan one, obviously. This Betty Crocker ones, there's a few that are vegan and like dairy free. This one's a strawberry one, which I feel like fits with the theme of Valentine's Day. But first we need to make our little egg. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of the flaxseed. Make sure it's ground. I feel like it kind of binds better that way. So do 2 tablespoons. And then we're gonna want to do 6 tablespoons of water. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not exact, but it doesn't really need to be. And you want to set that aside for a few minutes, maybe about like 4 to 5 minutes. Let that set. Aside. We have our cake mix, and then you want to get Oreos or JoJo's or any kind of like chocolate covered cream, kind of cookies and cream cookie, and then cut them up. I like getting the double stuff because I really like the middle, so I feel like the middle adds a lot to the cookie. So I do about 16 cookies. And then what I like about this recipe is that I add hibiscus flowers, and I found these at Trader Joe's. I was originally going to do dried strawberries, but when I found these, I feel like they really added a nice little tart touch to the cookie. If you want something similar, if you can't find it in your area, I feel like it's very similar to dried cranberry, so that'd be a good replacement if you can't find it. So we just want to chop that up roughly. I'm trying not to cut off your fingers like it's just that'd be bad. That'd be bad. Okay, add that. Then we want to do a half a cup of vegetable oil. Oh wow, a lot of people escaped. Little cookies escaped. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna want to do a half a cup of vegetable oil or canola oil. So we have all of that. Our flax egg is almost mixed up. I'm gonna try mixing it with this little spatula and seeing if it will work. Once it gets more incorporated, you're gonna want to go in with your hands, but we're not quite there yet. Okay, it should be fine now. So we're gonna add that. Yeah, see how it makes that like thick gel? That's what you want it to get to. That's why you let it sit. It smells super good. It kind of smells like strawberry ice cream. This is not working. This was a fail. I need a new I need a spatula or something. There, my spatula from culinary school. We got it. We've gone through some adventures together. We'll get through this. Look at that, it's so pink. It's so pretty. This is a good time to go in with your hands, so make sure they're clean. You can just mix it with your hands. You can crush it too, and crush the cookies a little bit more. And at this point, you can either bake the cookies now. It might be a little bit harder because the dough is obviously a little bit more sticky. Or if you want it to be more manageable, you can put it in the fridge for an hour and then roll them into little balls and bake them then. I'm going to just wash my hands and suffer through the stickiness just to bake them a little, just to do it. I want some cookies. I want some fondue. And the only way to do that is to finish the cookies. Okay, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. It's so pink. It kind of looks like sherbet almost, or sorbet if you want to get fancy with it. Okay, I'm gonna get a plate. Got a plate. Got to clean hands. It's very important. Clean hands. And then we're gonna roll. It's really not, it is sticky, but it's not unmanageable. They don't have to be perfect. They kind of look like little meatballs. It's like one of those things, you know, there's a God because Oreos are vegan. We don't get much, but we have Oreos. It should make about 16 cookies. But I make them kind of big, so you can always make them smaller. Or make them jumbo. That's always fun, have a jumbo cookie. Oh, you can shape it into a heart. If you want to be extra, shape one into a heart. Okay, let's add them to the oven. Ah! Be careful, don't be like me. I am just a mess. Sometimes I have my shit together. Maybe not today. But we'll find out together. Okay, I just have one little guy who's just gonna chill there. Look how pretty it is! It's so pretty. It's so lovely. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do is take it out more like at the 15-minute mark. Just keep track of it, and depending on how you like your cookies for the love bombs. 10 is for more if you like a softer cookie, 15 if you like a little bit crunchier and then soft in the middle, but the crunchy, you know, crispy outer edge. The tarts came out amazing. That's it. It came out amazing. So what you want to do with the fondue is just warm it up before you want to eat it. Put it in, if you have like a little fondue device, like this one. This is like a little makeshift one. And here are my little sides for the fondue. I have some mushrooms and broccoli and apples and some vegan sausage and of course some sourdough bread. But thank you guys for watching my first video. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any comments about the recipes, leave a comment below. But I'd really like to hear about if you guys like it. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.